In this tutorial video, we are going to go and make no-cut signs that you can make with either wrapping paper or you can also make with tissue paper, so let's get started. You can start this craft off by going and finding these signs over at the dollar store. They just added these ones that say home, but there's a bunch more, and when the holidays come around, there's a lot more as well. After you bring this home, go and cut some tissue paper. I don't typically prefer the tissue paper method for this just because I've noticed that there's a little bit more burn marks that do happen. You'll see that later on in the video. But what you're going to go and do is go and cut small pieces of this tissue paper. This is colored tissue paper. It's what I had laying around. It is both yellow and also blue. Start applying Mod Podge to one end. I'm applying it onto the heart area that's here. And after you have it down, what you're going to do is you're going to go and start to put down some of the tissue paper. You want to make sure you overlap the tissue paper as well. It's pretty much exactly like what you would do for other crafts that do involve tissue paper and glue. You want all of the actual pieces that are on the lettering to be fully and totally glued down, but any of the little extra pieces that are off at the sides is more than fine. After you have everything fully and totally glued down, go over the top layer of this with another layer of Mod Podge. And it's going to take just about 20 minutes for this to dry. After it is dry, take a lighter and light the edges. If there's a string or a rope on here, make sure to try to keep it away from the flame. You can see here that it's burning pretty quickly. Make sure to move your hand. There will be instances where the flame will just continue around because the paper is really thin. For the middle sections, use the lighter underneath, and then just burn it out as well. Take the sides and press them in to go and shape this better. Do keep in mind though that when you are doing this, the Mod Podge that is on there might get a little bit hot, so definitely take your time, let everything cool down, and here's what it should look like at the end. The only thing is the Mod Podge sometimes will burn like this, so another example of what you can do, and this is my preferred method, is you can go and use wrapping paper. Now I'm removing just the tissue paper that is here, and I'm going to go and use this again for the wrapping paper. This is going to be a little bit different in comparison to the tissue paper. You're going to cover all of the letters at once with Mod Podge, and then you're going to go and put down the wrapping paper. Make sure to press it and smooth it out with your hands. This is going to go and help it from wrinkling. This is also going to take a little bit longer to dry than the tissue paper because it's a bit thicker. It's going to take about 20 minutes for it to dry. And while it's drying, if you would like to go and size it a little bit more so you don't have a huge flame, you can go and cut the edges. If you don't want to, what you can do is just move on to going and lighting the edges on fire. As you see, this is going to take a bit more time to go and burn, but the burn is also going to be a bit more consistent and last longer on the edges. In saying this, make sure your hand is definitely out of the way when you are doing this. Also too, of course, if you're doing this, make sure you're doing this outside in a very well ventilated area with nothing that is near you that can go and catch on fire easily. Granted, I am outside on my porch, but I also did have a fire extinguisher with me to go and make sure I did not have any little accidents happen. The burnt edges are really easy to take off, you just brush them off, and for any indented areas, it's the same exact thing. It's going to burn up to a certain point, and then you can just go and blow or brush off the paper. Use your finger again to go and smooth the sides, and it should look a little something like this. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, take it easy and take care.